Hey everyone and welcome. I'm your friend Art of Mana and let's dive into a short update where I want to let you know, first of all, I am so sorry that I haven't been streaming and putting out videos. It has been so busy here in the Manor. We have been getting the house ready for sale. We've got our first showing tomorrow and we have our open house this weekend. So fingers crossed we'll find the right people who would like to take over Manor for us so that we can move to be closer to family. That is why I have not been as active online. Thank you so much for your patience. But I decided just do a little update where I would show you the room that was going to be the Twitch and YouTube studio, and we actually got so close to making it just that before deciding, you know what? We might just be moving. So it quickly got broken down. It was the first to get broken down. But since it is going to be, up for sale, I was kind of realizing maybe I should just do a little tour. I'd been asked for it. I thought, well, there's no need. There's really not much in here. Well, you'll see. Here. So this is the room, and yeah, there isn't a whole lot in here right now, as you can see. This originally was a music room. That was the initial point of it. And then it kind of became a video game room. That's me. Hello, you can see my reflection in the television. It's evolved. So yeah, again, first when we first moved in, we set up all the guitars and keyboard and all the musical instruments in this back section, and we had some stools over there so that you could just sit and play. There were some amps and things like that. And we had a nice little couch here. You could read in here, although that wasn't really the primary purpose of this room. But then this was a closet. We had taken out everything in there, and actually behind those curtains is just a little the hot water heater. And we decided, let's just open this up and put a TV in here. So we had the CRT television, and initially it was a narrow bookcase with a smaller CRT, and then I had all my systems in that bookcase, and I used wire shelves, those cheap wire shelves you can get. I spray painted them black, and that's how I stored all of my retro consoles. Although not only did I quickly outgrow that, I also just wanted to get a bigger television in here, so this was a Goodwill pickup. And this gives you a sort of a sense of how I was going to set this up. Now, I had my NES, SNES, N64, GameCube, and Wii, and then my PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 on a little acrylic shelf. I had my Sega Genesis, Dreamcast, and original Xbox in here. Those are all packed up now. That went away, so I filled it with a few odds and ends. This was actually kind of just done because there were things hanging around, and the realtor wanted some knickknacks in here for pictures. So of course we've got, well, Mikimo made this wonderful cross stitching for me. We've got, of course, Otter Mana and a few little things. This is actually, I don't know why this is here exactly, although it was sitting around and seemed cool, and it popped up Donkey Kong. This is an old switch box for an antenna or RF switch, and then this is the RF switch adapter for the Magnafox Odyssey. That's just propped up, or propping up Donkey Kong. Of course, the Rabbite, and we've got this little Simba here, child Simba. But then this is cool. This is the Breath of the Wild sword that I got with my Breath of the Wild Collector's Edition. This is a really cool box, a treasure chest that Ms. Mana made for me when she gave me my Nintendo 3DS, my first Nintendo 3DS, as a gift. And I'll have to show that in another video another time. But here's a little Link amiibo, and Mario and Luigi, and another one of those pixelated amiibo with Mario there. And of course my original Mario from way back in the day. And I think I've got, oh yes, the Master Sword and one of those cool, whatever those are, you just push the things through and makes, anyway, you know what I'm talking about. And this is just the recorder I use for various music things. It was just around, and it was like, here, let's just throw it on there, it looks good. But this is kind of cool. Now, oh, you know what? This may not work because there's a cord that's supposed to go there. There was going to be this big television stand. We were building it, And we were going to put this enormous CRT television in the corner here. And we were building the stand out of 2x6s, 2x4, and plywood. I think it was like 3/4 inch plywood, or maybe even thicker. I can't remember because those CRTs are massive. And we had this nice, oh gosh, it was this real thin wood material that we were going to be able to make in sort of a semicircle. So it would make this nice quarter circle right here. This is it's a split level house, so this is the foundation actually, and it goes around, so part of the top of that platform would be on the foundation, which we thought would make sense. But anyway, let me go ahead and plug this in so you can see how cool this could have been, or was actually, with all the video game systems. It was hooked up this way at one point. Now we've got power. So yeah, let me just go ahead and do that. And there we go. So it was really cool. Those are just IKEA lights. And one of the things I did here is I put these little grommets in here, which works great for all of the power and AV cables for all of the systems. It makes this really nice. This is just a piece of IKEA furniture. We put casters on it. And behind it, I got some cheap wood material with a nice, clean, white finish on it, so everything just bounces and reflects that light. There we go. In the back, that is actually a power strip. Always intended to lower that at some point, but never got around to it. The idea, of course, being that all of the cables wouldn't be visible, so having one so high didn't make a whole lot of sense, but anyway. It worked, especially when you're seated. But isn't that cool? So anyway, another little thing that I wanted to do at some point was paint this green. I thought that would be fun, a little nod to Mario, of course. And then, well, I had a whole bunch of ideas. The back here, we actually had started to plan out this mural, which quickly ended up being scrapped because we didn't want to have a mural in here to sell the house. But I have this mural idea that might make it into the new home and the new studio, and some neat shelving effects and things. But this would be kind of the wall that you would see me in. And like I said, it went through many stages, but you know, I had always kind of envisioned having some instruments up on the wall there. You could still use this as a music room, but also as a studio, and also a nice little place to hang out and play some board games, and that's what this was for. So anyways, this is really simple. Oh gosh, this window goes out to just to see what the outside looks like, and it gives a nice, cozy, fresh feeling. That is our barbecue. That's our backyard there. Little patio. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed taking a look at what could have been. Yeah, one more thing. I had installed these lights, this nice track lighting, so that you get good, really nice lighting on various things in the room, as well as myself if I'm being filmed. Anyway, yeah, it never quite made it to studio, but it actually fulfilled a lot of multiple purposes while we were here. So I don't have really any regrets. You know, it just never ended up meeting its full potential. It was kind of the one room in the entire house that we never fully knew what to do with, because it served multiple purposes. You know, we had an office already, and that was sort of the thing that kept us from making this a studio office, because we didn't think that we needed it. But as Twitch really took off for me, it seemed like actually, you know, a studio, a place that would be permanently set up for capturing footage on Twitch and everything made a lot of sense. And so that's when this began to be converted into that. You know, and at various times we thought about, you know, we had some big plans of a guest room, kind of used it as a bonus room, rec room. But eventually when we landed on that idea of a studio, it was like, perfect, let's do this. And then we decided to move. In the new home, we're probably not going to have as many just flat out rooms as we have in this one. And that's going to make things a little interesting. We're not totally sure what we're going to do. This house actually has a room that we have as a library, and it's simply just wall-to-wall bookcases and all of our books. We have a lot of books. We love reading. and we're probably not going to have that space. So we've already kind of gone through and we've gotten rid of some books. We're probably going to be getting rid of more. We'll probably get rid of a lot more once we know what house we'll be moving into. But this room and a studio space is something we've talked about. Now, my hope is in a new house, we'll either have a nice room that we could convert into a studio, and it would be kind of like a studio slash family room. So it would have all of the video game systems hooked up and the televisions to watch and play the games on. And then off to the side would be a desk where I could actually control all of my streams from. So it would serve two purposes. You could lounge and play games, and it would be a nice TV room, as we've decided not to have the TV in the living room in our new house, and instead let that be more of a family gathering place, which is something that we've always enjoyed, and also a place to play music, which is something we do a lot of with our family. And so it would serve the purpose of being the family room as well as the studio. Or we also talked about the potential of, if we found a place that maybe didn't have a room ideal for that, maybe getting one of those tough sheds and doing an outdoor studio. I'm really, really serious about Twitch, and I really do want to continue all the good things that have started. So this hiatus is killing me, but I hope this little video has given you a good update, and please cross your fingers, because when this video goes out, because I'm not going to probably have a chance to edit it tonight, when this video goes out, it will be the day after this is filmed. That's my intent. I'll do it out. I'll get it out tomorrow, and that means the first showings will have happened. So cross your fingers. Maybe say a prayer, just that the right people find this house, and that this becomes a good home for a deserving family, and that's kind of our ideal, our hope. And cross your fingers that it sells quickly, and we can, if it sells quickly, here's the thing, if it sells quickly, I can unpack a few of my things, because we won't have to worry about it being shown constantly, and I can really get a little bit more streaming, a regular streaming schedule back, probably a shortened one or a limited one. Get a streaming schedule back until we move, which then is going to obviously mean maybe a few weeks of no content. But then after the move, once we've gotten settled a little bit, I'm hoping to get back into regular content, multiple streams a week, and actually I'm really excited about video content. I've been sitting on a podcast. It's all edited. I've got a great podcast. It's going to have completely out-of-date stuff, but I'll still release it because I do want to get that podcast going. So a lot of ideas for the future, but I'm going to take it one step at a time, and we'll see how things go. It's going to be a wild ride. Thanks for hanging in with me, and as always, do good and be well. I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.